From buying your first box of minis and paint to being a competent player at the gaming table, we have you covered.
We play every miniature game at a heroic level. We'd like to take a moment and thank our sponsors and Patreons that keep the channel going, plus you for watching the videos. Be heroic and click that subscription button. Hello everybody, and welcome in to another fun episode. This is kind of a review, as the title says, of a weekend event that we went to. First off, before we get started, patrons, thank you very much. Without those, we wouldn't be able to continue to do the stuff that we do. We do appreciate all that. It does help keep us up and going. And then the sponsors that roll on the other side. Without them, we couldn't get some of the games that we take and get on here. This one's going to be a little different. Most time we are doing games, but to play the games, a lot of times you got to paint miniatures. And I can do a pretty good tabletop standard. Fast, quick, and efficient when I'm trying to take and throw armies together and get them on the table. But one of the interesting things is over the past probably 3-4 years, a couple of our friends, my wife and I's friends, you see him on the channel, Steven, a lot, always try to get us to go to ReaperCon. And we just hadn't been able to make it work. Well, this year we said we're going to do it. We got online to get our hotel. We got online to get our things. And unlike a lot of the events where it's 40K driven, or some of the other gaming events that we went to, this one is more of a paint competition. There's games there. There's D&D. There's a few other games that you can sign up for. You can sign up for games. There's vendors there just like you'd have at different systems. But this one really is, it's ReaperCon, it's their miniatures, and it's really a paint competition. There is the MSP Open that you can apply models into. So we set out to go, okay, what can we do? How well can we paint? And let's see what we can get. And the way it works is when you turn in the models, you can turn in multiple models, but you can take and they'll pick one, they'll judge it, and then you can go talk to the artist that judge it to find out how to get better and so forth. So most of the time I'm in a gaming system. So this one was a little different. I had a model taken through it up. Sometimes you can see it in some of the actual things that I worked on. My wife worked with Kristen on one, and we turned them both in, and I'll tell you the results of them at the end of the video. So stay tuned till then. This was going to be about probably 15-20 minutes long. I'm just going to go through the event, because one of the things that I think was neat is I had never been to one like this, a con. You've got your Comic-Cons, you've got your cosplay cons, you've got your gaming events, your 40K events, but I'd never been to one like this, and it was so cool. Some of the people that I met, some of the things I saw. There is some amazing artists out there. The other thing you do during the 4-day event is you get to take classes. You have to sign up for them. I was lucky enough to get several cool classes, and I'll show you what I did in those classes. To be honest, it's one of those, when it's all said and done, I can safely say, and I'll explain, I'm already excited for next year. And I mean, heck, we just finished with 365 days, I think 364, 5, 3, I don't know how many days left. I mean, I'm throwing this video together. So first off, let's go. And so me, the wife, and kids classes are there. So it's a family event. It's really well ran. You can show up on a Wednesday, stay Thursday through, show up on Wednesday, stay Wednesday night. It's a Thursday through Sunday. They have different things going on. You can go take a tour of the factory to see how they make paints, make models, go to their store. You've got classes that you can sign up for. Me, the wife, and the child signed up for some classes, took those, and I'm going to go through what we went on those. When we got there, we got to meet a lot of cool people. It's really interesting in the short few days. Made some pretty cool friends. I look forward to seeing them next year if they make it in. So it's really exciting from that standpoint. One of the first things is when you get there, you get checked in, you get signed up, you get your badge. And I'm going to raise this up. And you get your badge. And it's your ReaperCon badge. Well, one of the things we noticed as soon as we got there, people started getting these things. They're just little ribbons. So my wife, I was kind of nervous. So she walked up and she asked somebody. And basically, it's something that's done just to have people interact, and you walk up and you go, got ribbons. And depending on what they are, one I had to tell somebody what video game I played. Another one is the quest for ribbons. You get one in your bag. And so basically throughout the weekend, you're just running into people asking, got ribbons and so forth like that. And so it's kind of really, really neat. So once I got started and the wife got started and even the little one got started. And she was only there for a couple of days and then she went off to spend some time with more family. So she got this many. But what was really cool is because she's so short, there's one called Dragon Dirt. It's once your ribbons actually hit the floor, you can get Dragon Dirt. So you can see she did that. But me and my wife, being taller than her, my wife took a minute before she was able to take and get it, but she collected a pretty good bit too. And there was a lot of Ed, one of the co-founders for Reaper, passed this past year, so there's a lot of ribbons to him. So it was really cool to see the love and stuff just to that community taking and going to ReaperCon. And then I kind of got out of hand. Now I don't have as many as some people that got them there, but it really. Wife's like, "Are you really killing going?" So she's like, "You gotta kind of get over it." But then at the same token, every time I went and got one, she's like, "Well, where's mine?" I'm like, "Well, we got to work together. You got to go with me to get them." So one of the things that I do recommend is that is almost an event in itself, going around seeing people having a blast. So one of the things that I do recommend, and I'm going to show you here on the camera, is as you start getting them, because I actually set my chair down on one and about yanked my neck off because it did that. Once it got long enough, I had to take and roll them up, try to figure things out. So one of the things I'd recommend is if you do go, is taking, and I'm going to do this now because I haven't done them yet on any of them, taking you a clip, like one of these little bitty metal clip thingies. Let me flip it here, see if I can do this. See if it pop up. It's one of those little clips. Either that or a paper clip. Oh, how about I do this so you can actually see what I was talking about. One of those little clips. Either that or a paper clip so that you can take and throughout the event clip them together so that when this is hanging on your neck, it's not dragging on the floor all the time. And then you can unroll it when you got to show stuff off. Because there's certain ones, I got one that's called the Fourth Doctor. And the only way you get it is you have to have a few of the other ones. So what's really cool is I had so much fun with it. I've already got like four ribbons that we're going to take in order. So when we go next year, that we can give out ribbons to just be a part of it. Because it's a total blast from that standpoint. And that's just, I mean, that's one of the engagement pieces that you can take and do. They've got the vendor hall. And they have several vendors in there. You can go around, talk to the vendors, get hole punched, get given a miniature from that. You've got miniatures that you can buy. I did buy something this year because as I get into the MSP Open, I'll talk about some of the things that you can take and enter. There's some pretty cool things that you can actually enter in. You can enter in models from certain vendors. There's the ability for those awards. You've got a bunch of cool different things, and there really are some cool miniatures out there. It's so interesting playing all these game systems I do, and don't get me wrong, some of the smaller game systems that I've enjoyed have some cool miniatures, but man, just for a non-game system, just miniatures in general, like, here, let me see how well I can paint this and put it on. And like I said, I haven't rolled these at all, so the wife got me some of these things here, so I am going through, I'm on stream, and snap them together, because what's going to happen is I'm going to hang these on one of our hang racks in the paint room, and we'll just kind of put those each year as we take and go up. So a lot of cool classes. We turned in the models. Y'all saw, if you look at the thing, you'll see a picture of the Vespa, the one I turned in. My wife turned in a Rocky that she painted. If you hadn't seen those, you can go to Reaper. I don't have them in front of me, so to speak, because really want to take and go through the event. So there's a lot of cool classes. So one of the classes that we both did, that if you ever go, I do recommend taking, it's called Bones Mashup. So it was funny, we're sitting there as we're doing this, and I'll show you the model I made. I made several, my wife made a few. What you do is you go in and they supply you bins and bins. So it's like a 2-hour class, hour and a half class, but bins of just models, pieces, plastic, bits, just a bits bin. But it's full models, full of this, full of that. Some are together, some of them haven't been put together, and you just grab plastic, and you have all kinds of cutter tools. They have some cutter tools to cut certain things, but they have to do it at the desk because they don't want, one, the rule is no blood. You've got super glue, and you get to cut up models and build. So in a gaming universe like 40K, you get to mash things together and build. My wife's sitting there like, well, why don't we do this at home? And I'm like, because what I pay for the boxes of models at home is a little different, but this one's just bins upon bins. So one of the really cool things that I got to make, in, is I was able to make this one. And so I took a body and I mounted on a goblin. These are two spiders with their back XX for the brain. I've got the arms coming up, so this is the actual tail to this body. This leg here, front, is the actual tail to this model. Do not know where this foot come from, but I was able to cut it up. And then on the back, I found a dragon head, and I put the dragon head on it. I haven't mounted it yet because I'm going to work on painting it, but eventually, I've got these pieces too. It's going to have wings. So it'll be a dragon at the back and a big monster at the front. A lot of big brains, but the troll down there at the bottom, troll, hag, whatever you want to call it, and it's all done, will be the one actually driving this monster that I have created, which is really, really cool. I've got a name for it. I'm kind of working on it. If you want to, comments below, give me ideas. I've thought about dragon butt, but using the A word instead. I don't want to curse since it's a head and it's going to be wings because it's a dragon rear end. And so there's a lot of different things coming up from that thought process on that. We made a bunch of different things. She's got a bunch of models she made. The cool thing is I've glued it. I'll come home. I'll use some green stuff, do some modeling and sculpting. And my goal is to work on it to actually enter it into the painting contest next year. Because there are 4 painting contests, and that'll kind of bring me to the different contests that you can actually do from that standpoint. Oh, let's see here. We'll do this. Got to find the right camera. Boop, boop. So you can do several different painting. You've got an open, which is anything that's been created by you and painted you can put in. You've got painters, which is just strictly painting. You've got a diorama, which I've got a diorama that I actually built. We'll go over that class. I'm going to try to do that one, I think, for what I'm going to turn in. I think. I'm still working on ideas on that one. And then you have ordnance. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to do for an ordnance, but I think I am going to submit one in all 4 categories. I'm not trying to overbear myself, but I got a full year. And I'm going to start working on projects now. I've already got one of my painters one that I'm going to do because when you go into the painters, you also have a breakdown of chibis, mouselings, like so much stuff. Like it was a lot to take in, but so much fun going, man, I missed out on that. Man, I missed out on that. So from the MSP Open, you get to do those. You get to put them in. You can take in, there's just all kinds of stuff you can take and do. So I'm really excited with that. Like I said, we took and we put our two into, I put 3 in, they chose the 1, and she put the 1 in for painters. And again, I'll let you know how we did at the end. Because basically what it breaks down is you've got certificate, bronze, silver, gold, and then you have your top places awards and they get the big trophies. And talking with the judges, everybody starts at a silver and then they, depending on your paint job, it brings it down to certificate level or it pushes it up to gold level. And you get to talk to them and they'll say, hey, you did this good. Hey, you did this wrong. And so it was really neat to see those to go, okay, what can I do to improve this year to push the envelope when I take and turn it in next year? So it was super cool. Super cool to see a lot of the things. Some of the other things that we did there. So we'll go through some other things. So you've got the ribbons, trying to find the ribbons. You've got a bunch of different vendors there where you can walk around and just buy models. And boy, if you're a collector and you like buying models, be careful because before you know it, I mean, I think there's one vendor we bought like 3 bags from. It's like boom, 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 boom. It's like, oh my gosh. You've got D&D, different games that you can sign up for, which is just interacting and having a good time. You're in the hotel, everybody's, happy hour, you're grabbing some concessions, you're sitting around having a good time. They've got an award ceremony, a costume contest. They've got all those things going on. And then throughout the whole thing, they've got a paint and take. You can go over to a table and just paint models and be able to take them once you paint them. Or what they call hobby hijinks. And I actually laid these out and kind of explain what we did here. Hobby hijinks was a very interesting thing because I hadn't done it before. And so it was one of the fun things, one of the fun events that you could take and do. Oh, I did not get them placed right. So we're going to do this again, and this again. So these are the 3 models that I will show if, let's see here, we'll do this one more time. See what it seems. So those should come in pretty well. Let me see. Yes, and I painted all 3 of them. So the first one is a cat. So they gave the cat, so Reaper Miniatures is working on some printing options, and so this is one of the models they did on that. They're working on different things, got a lot of things going on, but this is one they handed out. And so it was a cat. Let's see, does it have who? It does not have any of that. On that. And what we had is we had 45 minutes to paint the cat. So I literally had 45 minutes to paint the cat. So that's how I did. Wasn't the greatest, but it was super fun. The wife did one, and then you put them up there and they vote, and they give you some Reaper bucks, and you can use the Reaper bucks for different things throughout the event. So that was really cool. The second one I did was called Sophie Says, and that one is like Simon Says, but your painting is 45 minutes, and they literally go, Sophie says, let your person to the left paint your model, let the person to the right paint your model. So this one started off with different folks painting it, and then it kind of came back to me, but Sophie also told everybody to give people stuff, and what I ended up with is they ended up giving me the red and blue 3D glasses. So one eye could squeeze to see red, one eye squeeze to see blue, and that's all I could see. So I tried, it was not the best. I tried dry brushing, I tried doing some highlights. I was just having fun with it, because at that point I was like, there's no way I'm going to make this look good. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I thought about stripping it because I really like the model, but I was like, nope, this is an event of a weekend and having fun, and so I want to remember about it. And then this one, I don't even have the, where's it at? Oh, it's over there. Let me grab it right quick. So this event actually started, they gave us no paintbrushes. So this one was called Sophie After Dark, and it's a little bit more messing with you from that standpoint. Of course, it's after happy hour, so everybody's had those. And we started off, they all gave us a mini like this. So a dice. And we started off painting it. You could only paint it with your finger, no paintbrushes. You had no paper towels, no paintbrushes. You had paint in the model, that was it. And then after a little bit, they said, oh, okay. And they swapped out and gave us these minis. And so I worked on her. And then they finally gave us paintbrushes. And then told us we couldn't use paintbrushes. And then this one became interesting because it was a fun weekend, and one of the people they were handing stuff out, they ended up giving me these glasses that when you look straight, you look down. So what happened is I literally, for probably 25 of the 45 minutes, I was looking straight ahead to actually see the reflective option down. And then we did some other things. I had a mitten. I had a go team go mitten trying to hold the model and paint. They gave me, switched out my paintbrush, and after I'd gotten some good base coats down, so I tried to use it as spotting and dry brushing on the hair. They gave me this like bathroom cleaning, almost like a toothbrush, but it's round. And that's what brush I had to use to finish it out. And then the glasses came off. So it was a lot of fun. Like I said, it's just to have a good time. You're painting a model, you're cutting up with the people at your table. And they've got those events throughout all the days, I think 3 or 4 a day, and you can sign up for those. And so even if you just go do that because you say, I'm not the best painter, just want to have a good time, you got games, you got ribbons, you got that, you got hanging out. All in all, in itself, that is a blast. Not to mention, if you've painted a model, you can submit it so that you can get done there. But then there's even more. Like, I'm already out of breath. That was 4 days of just cram-packed, go, go, go. You've got a tour. So you can take and go do a tour, which me and the wife did. And that was really cool. We did a tour and was able to see where they make stuff, the different things. It's definitely one of those that was really, really, really cool. And then we got to go into the store. We got to see where a lot of stuff were made. I actually got to see their studio, which was really cool. I sat down in a picture. Sat down in a chair and got my picture made in there. So it was a lot of cool stuff. I was like, oh, this is fun. This is a blast. Like, I just had a blast and with all of it. But then, not to mention, with all those things going on, one of the other things I got to do is I got to sign up for classes. And I ended up taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes. One of them I don't have anything from. I was more of a, he showed, and we really didn't mess with stuff, but it was pretty neat. And then the mashup class technically is a 7th class, but I've already showed you that one. So one of the classes I took was a sculpting class. And so they really showed us how to open our minds to look at different things, which is really cool because I took it before I took the bow mashup class, which will let my imagination just go. But I'll show you what we ended up making. So we ended up making out of a bunch of corkboard and tongue depressors and small bricks, like a graveyard scene. And I have been able to take and get it at least somewhat painted and zenithal, and so it's one of those I'm thinking to take and work on it. And what's really cool in each one of the classes, not only did I get this, I got the mini to go with it. And so I'm thinking it's going to set up here when it's all said and done, like it's coming down the steps, which is going to be kind of hard for you to see there, but we'll take and do that. So that's one of the classes, and that was really cool. Each class is about an hour and a half. They provide, this one I didn't have to bring anything. I just showed up. They provided all the materials and everything, and we worked through it. So that one was really cool. Another one, probably one of my favorite ones, which if you saw my, that's fun. I may actually get it out here in a second. I should have had it out, but if I'll get it out here in a second and I'll show you the back of it. I used this technique on it to get it done. And it was interesting talking with one of the artists. They said if I'd left it the way it was, I would have gotten a grade lower than what I got. So it was actually pretty cool to see that I used something I learned in the classes on the model during the weekend to be able to take and raise the way it looked, which is really, really, really cool. So the next one that I took was dots and dashes. And so again, an hour and a half. You can see, but it was working on how to take and use the brush with dots and dashes to get your blending and textures and stuff on models that don't have texture, which is really cool. Again, let me get that to focus a little bit. Now we're gonna do a quick change. So texture on it. So that was actually fun, and like I said, I used that on the model to take and elevate it from that standpoint, and that was really cool. Another one that I took, which really I would not say I am a color expert, but it showed me shades of colors, which was really, really cool. Take and won't really go into it, but show you the model that I did. I'm gonna do something right here before we flip this over. Hang on 2 seconds. There we go. Take some of the boom off of it a little bit. There we go. And so this is another one I did. I was only allowed to use so many colors of shade, and painted that one. So that was really, really cool. From a standpoint of that, getting to understand the concept of shades and how to apply them to miniatures and what you're supposed to do with them. So that was fun. Again, another fantastic class, a lot of theories and stuff, and so I really enjoyed that. It was really, really, again, cool. Like, these things helped me understand and elevate and wanted me to actually push the envelope versus just being battle ready on the table to really go, all right, what things can I turn into showpieces? What things can I have? Hey, that's my prize piece that's sitting on the shelf. So I'm actually going to have another shelf in the house that's going to start turning into models that I have pushed the envelope to really push from that. Another cool class, there's 2 other classes that I've got models to show off on, and these 2, for me, these were awesome classes as well. Let's see if I can do this right here. Oh, here, we are getting here. Oh, did it again, I chunked it. So hopefully it'll come across. Well, I took a freehanding class. And yes, nothing was on that cloak. There was nothing. It's flat. There is no raised elements. I actually freehanded that in a class. Learned how to do it and how to freehand it. And to me, I am impressed at my own skills, because I was like, holy smokes, that's awesome. And then I'm going to take and that one, like I said, that one was super, super fun to understanding the folds, a lot of the ways to take and do it. So with that one and the dots and dashes one that I took, it really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And then I had one more that I got something to show on for this one. And this one's going to be even trickier. It's called Tiny Text. I'm gonna take and raise it up here. I think we're gonna hope it's gonna zoom on autofix. Tiny text. That's a book. That's a small book. And just to let you see, really wished it would come in clear. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I get it coming clear. Get my hands here. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. Try it one more time here. There we go. I was able to draw that on tiny text. And then I'm going to let you see how tiny that is next to a miniature. It was a crazy cool class. And for me, I took it to Steven. He had a blast with it too. He did a really cool thing with fire and stuff. And so for me, that was just really cool to see, okay, I can take and do that. So now I was able to do some tiny text. I was able to do some freehand. And I understood how to do some dots and dashes for some shading and techniques. And then understanding the it's going to do this. I want to flip it so it'll autofocus in for me. Cool. There we go. Was able to see some different shades and stuff. And then finally was able to take and do the diorama. So that was the classes. So again, you think about that. 1.5 hour classes. You're taking and bouncing from place to place. You've got the games. You've got this. You've got that. You've got all kinds of different stuff that you can take and do when you're there. So at the end of the day, it's definitely a different event than a gaming event, but it's going to allow me to elevate some of the things that I'm working on. I've already got one model that I know I'm doing, and I've done, instead of just painting, I'm actually understanding how to look at reference material, how to take and lay out a plan to paint versus normally I just grabbed colors and slapped on something and worked through it, which is how I painted. I didn't know any better. I didn't know shading, didn't understand that. So a lot of cool things to take and pick up while you're there. Like I said, let me take and we're gonna leave. I need to have something for you to look at. We'll take. I'm gonna put these back up right quick, just for a second. I know I've had them, and I had them up and had them down, but I want to take. I didn't do that right. There we go. Do that, and then we're going to do that. And so you can see those, not touching the table. I'm going to work and get this. Like I said, I should have had it out. This is horrible on me. But you live and learn as you're taking and doing things. Definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you'd like to hear anything about any more of the classes, ideas, different stuff, leave a comment below. Like I said, I am super stoked. It's one of my favorite events I've ever been to. So we're going to pull these off. I got this out now. And here is my model. So one of the things I did was I darkened the veins. You got that there. And then biggest thing is the back. So you can see what I did on the back side of the model there. Taking and doing it. So like I said, it was really, really cool. Oh, I think I just realized what was going on there. All right. Well, we're going to do a quick run through here on one thing. Because this is going to take and help. All right. You see the shading in there from that standpoint. But he shows up a little better. Yeah, cool. So with all that being said, that was the event. I turned in this piece, a few of the models, but Vespa is the one that was chosen. Wife turned in Rocky, like I said. At the end of the day, we both got a bronze medal. Mine is a true bronze, so I got bronze across all 3 judges. My wife got 2 bronze and a certificate, so hers is a low bronze to do the averages, which is all cool, but still bronze medals. We both walked out with bronze medals. It was really, really awesome, and it hooked me. We left going, I was like, all right. I mean, I woke up every morning with my legs cramping. I was walking and moving and going and doing. But man, it was a ton of fun, and we had a blast. That comes to really the conclusion of the video of my ReaperCon review. I don't know how long this has went. Definitely like, share it out, subscribe if you hadn't, if it takes and picks it up, because we are a gaming channel. We do the tabletop games, but we also do the hobbying side, and this really opened up a lot of hobbying to me, where I really want to start messing with a lot. I don't know if I'll do the hobby streams. If you want to, leave a comment, let me know, hey, we don't see the hobby streams, because I am going to start doing some painting. I can do it on stream, or I can do it off on my own and then show you the results as we continue to take and play the games that we play. With that, everyone have a wonderful day, and can't wait to see you till next time.